Hello everyone and welcome to the Two Great Bridges, the rescue mission. Hi Danny, I like this map.
Hey! Yeah, I know you like this map. I think this map's alright. I know this is, you were saying, your favorite map in the game.
It's most likely my favorite map.
It's definitely not mine. It's definitely not mine. I think it's alright. Like, I don't think it's, like, a bad map. It's one that I just sort of, like, I don't know, I don't have really any strong feelings on. I was surprised to hear you say it's your favorite. Like, I don't know, it's got some good attributes. It just kind of feels like a fine map to me. It is a map where you get time pressured. Well, kind of. The reinforcements from behind,
Yeah,
but you can also deal with them pretty easily.
The reinforcements are kind of your time push in this map, definitely. Not any sort of, like, side objective or anything like that. Because funnily enough, neither of the villages are threatened in this map. You can just kind of walk up to them.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm not as high on it. I feel like maps where there's not really any sort of time pressure, even for side objectives, tend to be ones that I like less, because the optimal strategy is usually just something boring. And, like, you can challenge yourself by pressing yourself to do it fast. I have.
It's cool whenever the game pressures you to play fast.
Yeah, it often feels like adding your own challenge is something you shouldn't have to do. The game should do that for you.
Of course.
I'm a challenge runner at heart. Like, I would consider myself and my channel a challenge runner.
Of course.
I do a bunch of challenge runs, you know, like, of note, zero growths in Fire Emblem, but, like, I do a lot of other stuff, too, you know. I just finished a Only Partners Paper Mario run. I've done level 1 of other games, like Dark Souls and Paper Mario. And I've done, various other wacky challenge runs. In a similar manner to this Death Wheel thing, right? Like, this is a challenge run as well.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm all for adding my own challenge to the game, but I don't think I should have to.
No, definitely.
I don't like it when there is an easy, like, so I don't think everything needs to be difficult, right? And I think, like, it would be fine if this map was easy but engaging, but I find that if the strategy is to just slow down a bunch, like, if that's the quote-unquote optimal strategy, then I don't find that a particularly interesting way of doing it easily. Because, like, for example, the best way to deal with those ballistas is just to have someone strong wait in range, like someone not strong, bulky, wait in range of them and bait them out. Especially since, like, yes, the reinforcements are, like, a little threatening, but they're not as threatening as the ones in, like, Chapter 11A, for example.
No, or even those
the
ones
Silverlands Paladin.
Even the ones in which map was it? Chapter 12, the super strong brigands and stuff.
No, those guys,
warrior.
yeah.
That's what it was, the warrior.
Yeah, the level 15 warrior with, like, nearly capped stats.
So I want you to enemy phase this guy. Oh, he has a longbow, so I can't. I forgot about that. How do you do against this guy, though? Okay.
So you can kill the mage, but then
13 plus 9.
James needs 21 HP.
Yeah, we do need to heal him. I'll just back up like that, because that means none of the ballista can reach him now. Yep. He's basically just stalling these guys, so they don't catch up to me while I'm trying to deal with this up here.
Interesting that you go north. I almost always went east.
Oh, I usually go north. That way I don't have to deal with the two ballistas. Because this ballista can reach this one tile.
Normally I have, like 3 paladins at this point instead of 1.
Oh, that's true. I have a lot fewer
so I don't
paladins
find it that hard to, like, between my 1 to 2 nomads, my 3 paladins, and my 2 falcos, and, like, yes, the falcos are in danger from the bows, but, like, you just push forward and kill the bows.
Yeah.
I don't find it difficult to get to the ballistas before they deal damage, especially because the archers really like leaving their ballistas if they can, because the silver bow has higher might than the ballista. So if you put someone in the archer's range, even if they can, like, attack them with the ballista, they will usually leave to attack someone else with the silver bow, I have found, and I don't, like, I'm not super knowledgeable on AI, so I can't say, like, this is for sure. I can just say from my experience. But in my experience, I have found they prefer doing less damage with the silver bow than hitting, or not less damage, but hitting a strong unit with the silver bow than a frail unit with the ballista. Like, I've had Elen in ballista range, or not Elen, Saul in ballista range, and still had them leave with the silver bow.
They really like.
I guess because higher might weapons. Maybe it has something to do with the weapon changing thing we were talking about last map.
It could
where like they use their one weapon and now they need to change to another one.
They just feel a very strong, uncontrollable need to switch their weapons out.
I mean, can you blame them? You're currently playing a challenge run where you have a strong, uncontrollable need to rotate your army out.
That is true.
Speaking of rotating your army out, I can't help but notice you only have one sniper deployed.
Oh, I have two. He's back here.
Oh! I overlooked him! I was gonna say, like, I know this is the Klein map, because, like, there's flyers to deal with, but... You have a second Klein. You have Klein at home.
I have Diet Klein.
Diet Klein.
Actually, let's see. 13 strength, 10 speed, 8 defense. The difference is I had to work for this.
Well, and also he's worse. Like, in every conceivable way,
he's worse in every way.
Actually, can I see their weapon ranks? I know Klein has A, right?
Wolt has S, because it took forever to build him up to a high enough level to actually do anything. So,
if Klein hasn't gained any weapon rank by the time you get to Yoder, then Wolt will have a niche. Wolt will have a niche.
Finally, a reason for him. This guy is kind of scary. But I think we're okay.
Yeah, I mean, I did just get done talking about how, like, these enemies are not as scary as the ones in, like, earlier chapters.
Where's Killer Lance
it doesn't mean they're not threatening at all. Yeah, there is a Killer Lance, and this is a game without an Iron Ruin, too, so anytime there's a killer enemy, like, you are just accepting that risk of crit no matter what.
Yes. So
which I don't like. I like when you get an Iron Ruin, like, around a third of the way through the game. I think that's the perfect time for an Iron Ruin to show up.
Yeah.
Although, I will say, I do like that in games without Iron Ruins or Hoplon Guards or getting doubled, getting double taped. I do think that, like, my preferred way of dealing with crits is a single Iron Ruin that you, like, have to trade around and do stuff, right? I get it if people don't like that, because, like, it means that crits now are just irrelevant. I think that the game should give you some way to deal with crits.
Yeah, some form of crit negation.
Like bronze weapons in Fates giving crit avoid is one. And not just Fates, like, I think bronze weapons in Engage do as well. But then Engage also has some inheritable skills, and also, I think it's the Celica Engrave that gives, like, a fuck ton of crit avoid.
I think so, that sounds right.
Like, the Celica Engrave is functionally an Iron Ruin. For all intents and purposes. Yeah. So, like, I don't like that this game has basically no way to deal with killer weapons, other than just being like, I hope it doesn't crit.
And it's not like crit negation hadn't been done before, because we had scrolls in FE5.
Yeah, scrolls in FE5. And, like, again, I get it if you don't want crit negation to be, like, the thing. But some way to, like, lower crit chance, like the bronze weapons.
Yes.
I definitely get that, like, adding an Iron Ruin means that you can't make low luck be the only downside of a unit. So, like, someone like Rutger, one of the things people say is, like, well, he has terrible luck, so he's always going to be facing crit, and that's, like, an undeniable downside. I would argue that's not his only downside. Like, he's an unmounted unit, and at the end of the day, that drags him down more than his low luck. I I think that if you had an Iron Ruin, like, it would definitely buff Rutger, but, like...
It wouldn't fix it
He'd still be
entirely.
close to where he is, honestly. Because he's an infantry unit, right?
Yeah.
He's an infantry unit, and, like, his combat is great when you get him, and it's great basically up through the Western Isles, but, you know, you promote Shannon, you promote Elen, you promote Lance, eventually you get people who can, like, replicate or come close to his combat.
Exactly. So real quick, do you like this unit? I have a feeling you like this unit.
Yes. No, Milady's my favorite unit in the game.
I thought I had maybe heard that somewhere, that you really like this unit.
I love Wyverns. Like, wait, okay. Let me see if I can find the post. Because there was a Reddit post where someone was complaining about how intelligence systems can't balance Wyverns.
I almost get the feeling that, especially in this game, they weren't supposed to be balanced, though.
I don't think they... So, I think that Wyverns being unbalanced...
But...
No, I think Wyverns being unbalanced is an intentional and fine design in games where,
you can't
there's
just make
not infinite...
One.
Yeah, so, like, I think that the problem with Wyverns and the thing that has created Wyvern Emblem is infinite reclassing. Because, like, it's important to remember, you get 2 Wyverns in FE6. You get Milady and Zeus, and they're both phenomenal units. Zeus haters, fuck off. Don't actually. But they're both phenomenal units. Wow, that's tragic.
Yeah.
That's so tragic.
Oh, that's kind of unfortunate.
Javelin? Can Tate Javelin? To set it up?
Yes. Oh, actually, we have an Armor Knight. We have this for a reason. And then he can only reach up here.
Look at him.
Like we have the
technology. So
technology.
you can chuck the jab with never mind. I was gonna say you can chuck the jab with Tate, and if she misses, then you have Boar's block.
I like this idea a lot. Just go ahead and start chipping.
But yeah, like I think that in most games you only get a couple of Wyverns, and they're supposed to be this super elite class that usually the enemy nation uses.
And so it's kind of a big deal when you get your hands on one finally.
Yeah. And then, like, they usually join pretty late, too. Like, Milady joins... What would you say this is, like, almost halfway through the game?
I would say this is just about halfway, because this is Chapter 13, and I think 25 is the Dragon Temple. So she's right at halfway.
Yeah, and we've got a good number of gaidens both before and after, right? So, yeah. No, I think I agree with you. So, like, getting a really strong unit halfway through the game is, like...
Kind of
yeah, it's not unheard of. I don't think it's unbalanced. Especially for, like, Iron Manning purposes and stuff, right?
Oh, definitely. There we go. This Troubadour, if you don't get rid of her, can be one of the most annoying enemies on the map. Because you're doing.
I love Echidna's hero sprite.
Me too. Female heroes are so cool.
It was just the only thing I saw when I glanced away from this post about Wyverns. This person does not have good takes. Not only, like, so it's funny because, like, they're complaining about how Wyverns are overpowered and unbalanced, and, like, here's my hot take. I don't think a single-player game needs to be balanced. Like, I think it's fine for a class to be significantly stronger than another one. But also, they're talking about, like, what happens in terms of, like, Wyverns being good. One of the things that they mention for FE14 is Wyvern Jacob.
Okay. I don't think I've ever heard someone bring that up before.
Oh, you're not familiar with the fucking Church of Wyvern Jacob?
I've heard of Paladin and Great Knight Jacob. I've never heard of Wyvern Jacob. Doesn't that require
so the argument,
a bunch of
and it's
stuff?
so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. You S-support Jacob with Corrin so that he can reclass into the most mediocre fucking wyvern in existence. Like, I'm sorry, Corrin Marriage is probably the single most valuable resource in all of Conquest. Giving it to fucking like Jacob so you can pretend he's a Jagan. And not only that, but you're spending gold on a partner seal.
Yeah, you get one of those for a while, as far as I remember.
So I believe the partner and friendship seals are exclusively in Paralogs. So I might be wrong about that, but I think they're exclusively in Paralogs, so you have to, like, pair someone in order to get any, or you buy them from the shop.
I'll believe that.
But also, Corrin Marriage is extremely valuable. Because, like, not only because, like... So, for two reasons, right? One, because, like, Corrin is possibly the best Parapot in the game. I think Corrin's also, like, too good at combat to be relegated to Parapot. But, like, their personal skill is strong enough to make them, like, better at being a Parapot than anyone else. Which is why, like, in Zero Growths, I made them Bryoma's partner. But it really also can grant access to a class, like, because Corrin's talent is customizable, it can grant them it can grant any unit access to a class they wouldn't get otherwise.
Which is crazy.
Which you can do to an extent with, like, pairing them with other people. If you're like, okay, well, I want this class, and I can't afford to give them Corrin Marriage, who do I pair them with? You know, it's one of the reasons that a lot of people suggest Charlotte as Xander's husband, because she makes a good backpack as a berserker, and hero access lets him get soul, and he wants soul. And I guess, like, you could make him a hero if you want, since it can use his personal weapon, but I think generally the consensus is that Wyvern Xander is just better than a grounded one for most maps. I might be wrong about that, because I'm not, like, the most familiar with Conquest, but from speaking to people who are better at Conquest than me, they agree with that assessment, so, like...
That sounds fair.
I would like to... And, like, again, Wyvern is broken. Which, again, like, why would you mention Jacob, who does not inherently have the class, when you could mention Xander, who just is a second seal away from arguably the best class in the game? They're also saying that Wyverns are the best class in FE13. Which, like...
I mean, I couldn't be able to...
I mean, in Zero Growths... In Zero Growths, like... My Wyvern, like, my carry was Church Wyvern, but... I think generally you want one of the broken builds. Like an Armsmith Soul build or a Nosferatu tank build. And, like, I guess you can Armsmith Soul in Wyvern with, like, very specific units, but I think that would have to be a child unit. Like, I don't think that anyone gets access to both the Merc class line and the Wyvern class line on their own.
We could do that. We could even do this. Look at him. Look at him.
Okay, but if he was Barter, he would be doing that, but with a really cool mustache, which is objectively better.
And no accuracy.
Who needs accuracy when you just hit?
I mean, that is true, but... Now, I do know... Oh, okay. I always forget this cutscene triggers, and I always think it's some kind of same turn reinforcements.
Oh my god, they mentioned that Baruka is a mediocre unit aside from her class access, and that's what makes Wyvern overpowered. Whereas, like, I actually like the design of, like, a unit who's not great but has great class lines. I love that design space. Like, I think that was... If Engage didn't have infinite reclassing, Rosado would be a really cool unit, because he's mediocre as shit, but he's in Wyvern. And he'd be one of only 2 flyers. Well, 4, I guess, because the Royals. So, like, I think if anything, Baruka is sort of an example of, like, reclassing being the problem, not the existence of wyverns.
I guess I never thought about Rosado being the only other...
So it's Ivy, Hortensia, Chloe, and Rosado are the only people who are inherently in flying classes. I think it would be cool if they use Awakening's class system and instead, like, not the level looping thing that Awakening does where you go back to 1, but instead being, like, every unit has 3 classes and those are the only ones they can access, right?
I think that's a cool idea.
Like, I think that would be neat. And they could still do reclassing as, like, you maintain your level. Although, weirdly, in this one, you go back down to 1, which I don't... I mean, like...
I think it's kind of weird.
But the thing is that, like, you go back down to 1, but you maintain your internal level, so your experience formula isn't adjusted by that. So, like, it's literally just to prevent you from getting class skills early, I guess? But, like, I'm sorry, 99.9% of class skills are shit.
Move forward with you. Here. Okay. I think this is what we do. Move you in to help out just in case. And I guess we can use the bow guys back here to help out with this. Just in case things get dicey.
Yeah, because you do have a bow up there to deal with the wyvern, and it's just 1 wyvern left. And he's going for Roy anyway, so...
See, this is why Roy has the Lance Reaver in engage.
Can we talk about that, though? I think it was dumb that they gave 2 Reaver weapons to you, and they're both swords.
Yeah, I like Roy having the Lance Reaver, because his game was the first one to have Reaver weapons.
Yeah. I think Corrin having the dual katana feels like a real missed opportunity.
Yeah.
They should have given Corrin the dual club. I get it that Corrin can't use this inherently, but I think it would have been a cool reference to, like, the most common anti-Ryoma build.
It's one of the most important weapons in Conquest overall, really.
Yeah, well, it's the only Reaver you get access to in Conquest.
Oh, right.
Because you get it from a village, and you can't buy them in the Conquest Armory. There might be one in a Kid Paralog. I'm not super familiar with Kid Paralogs.
I think the only other Reaver is you get the Reaver Tome in Ophelia's.
Oh, you do! I keep forgetting that the triangle affects tomes. But yeah, Ophelia gives you... I think it's Calamity Gate is the name of the Reaver Tome. Ophelia also gives you Horse Spirit, which is fucking busted. Ophelia's Paralog is, a treasure trove. I recently participated in a community tier list, where each person rated 1 unit. And, initially I was like, Odin seems a little bit overrated. But then I saw that the criteria are parents get credit for all of the items that are in their kid's paralog, under the assumption that they need to be fielded a certain number of chapters to get the paralog. Which, like, I think that logic makes sense, and under that logic, like, Odin was absolutely... I think he was an A tier, and I was like, oh yeah, that... Like, I tend to think that Odin and Ophelia are some of the more overrated units in Conquest. Not bad. Conquest doesn't have bad units. But I think that people overstate, like...
How good?
You know, Odin's good in the early game. But I think that if you're giving him credit for the tomes that he has in Ophelia's Paralog, then, like, he goes from good to great. Like,
yeah,
he becomes... The value of those tomes is so high. Because, like, Corrin and Leo can use those tomes. And, like, they're some of the better magical units in the game. And those are great tomes. Like...
Feeding a promo
and you get
feels so good.
You get, I think it's a Spirit Dust and 3 cool tomes.
That's so much good stuff.
And it makes sense too. Like that's also a big flavor win because Ophelia's whole characterization is seeking out rare tomes.
And she likes books and stuff because she likes tomes.
Yeah, and so like I think it's a huge flavor win that her paralog gives you a bunch of powerful tomes that you can't get anywhere else.
I think her personal is if she has 3 or more tomes in her inventory, she gets extra crit chance.
Yeah, it's like a reflection of Odin's. All the kids tend to have, not all of them, most of the Conquest kids though, I feel like tend to have personals that are like reflections of their parents. And then you get into Birthright and the personals seem like largely unrelated. Like, oh, Izama has Divine Retribution and his daughter likes haikus. His daughter's personal is the wackiest thing in the world. Do you know what Izama's daughter's personal is?
Isn't it where if you align 3 units vertically, the top one heals 5, the middle one heals 7, the bottom heals 5?
Because she likes haikus. It's so fucking dumb.
The reason I remember
like,
that
I kind of love it.
I remember abusing that in the Heirs of Fate DLC to heal my units if I ever needed to.
Oh, do you not get a staffer in that game? Or in that DLC?
You do? I just remember the heal staff uses feeling really stingy.
Gotcha.
And
hey, I mean, like...
It's free healing.
that it is. It's like, in Chapter 2 of, Sorry. It's like in Chapter 2 of Three Houses Black Eagles. Since you only have, like, 5 heal uses, and 3 physic uses, because spell uses are cut in half when you're not in a, like, when you're in the noble class.
Yeah.
Abusing Dorothy is personal to heal people.
I've done that too.
Look, it's not even like, oh, I have to hoard my heal uses. It's that you don't have any. You fucking run out in that map.
You don't have any to hoard. It's not considered hoarding at that point.
I think we as a community have, like, overcorrected when it comes to hoarding as a pitfall.
We have...
Like, to an insane degree. I'm playing, Code of the Burger King, right?
Uh-huh.
On stream. And there's a weapon that is, 15 range, deals 15 damage. 1 use, right?
That's cool.
And everyone is yelling at me for not using it on every fucking random enemy, and I'm like, I'm saving it for when it'll be useful. I'm saving it for enemies that I can't kill without it, because it has 1 use. And then, like, there was a really scary boss that I could barely get 1 unit to, and I was like, okay, she has to crit this. If she doesn't crit it, she'll leave him at, like, 10 HP, and then I'll use, like, the Mungus, which is the name of the weapon, right?
Mungus.
To finish him off. And they were like, use the Mungus first to guarantee it. I'm like, no, because the Mungus guarantees it if she doesn't crit. But if she does crit, I can use the Mungus on someone else. Like, and then people are like, oh, you're hoarding. And I'm like, I'm not hoarding. I'm just not throwing away a resource I don't need to throw away. Is that Percy? No. Okay,
no,
it's not.
No. Yeah, Percy, he does move if you're in his range. He will run at you.
You scared me because you said he moved, and I was like, uh-oh. I've never seen, because I don't go north.
I always go north, and I always run into this issue, and then I wonder what the problem is and how to fix it.
See, the thing is, I've seen what happens to the Starks who go north. I'm not going to go north. Is that reference out of date enough for you, gamers?
I think... Oh my gosh, Klein.
Bad unit. Use Wolf instead.
Good idea.
Wolf would have hit. Walt would have hit. Because he would have had the Roy support. Klein is in range of Roy support.
Oh, that's true.
Hell yeah, Gonzalez. Hell yeah.
Do the thing. Okay, he's still killed. That's all that matters, I guess. So much EXP.
So, what level are you going to try to train Milady to before promoting her?
I don't really think I have a desired level in mind. Because she can participate in this map well enough, unpromoted. I'm going to promote her by the end of the map. No matter what level she is, I'm promoting her at the end of the map. So that is a guarantee. So we can do that. Oh. Axe Reaver. Let's do this. I think we can finish with the Horse Slayer. We can, but he dies. Oh, there's this guy still. You're a longbow guy, so you'll do 27, goes down to 19. What if we just kill this guy, though?
I don't think you can. Like, are you willing to risk Tate's life over this?
Nah. We could try to chip first, because she lives a hit from the longbow.
Yeah, but she doesn't live longbow plus
No.
cav. And, like, it's a 77 she could miss.
Yeah.
It's an 88. I mean, like, you can do it if you want. Just,
Yeah,
you know, I will laugh if you have to replay the map.
I can always pick her up with Barth if I need to. And then deal with the consequences of my actions later. So 17...
I mean, I love watching you deal with the consequences of your actions. But also, how are you gonna pick her up with Barth?
You can pick her up.
No, if she missed the cab, Barth couldn't reach her.
I didn't think that far ahead.
That's what I meant. Is like, what? It took me a second to process what you were trying to say, because I was like...
It made sense in my head initially.
Even if... I was gonna say, did you think Barth had passed? But even if he did, he can't occupy the square he would need to rescue her on.
It would have worked out, probably. There's a Killer Lance guy here somewhere, I just know.
I don't think it would have.
It's a Killing Edge guy.
He's an edgelord.
Kinda don't like him being alive.
He's too edgy for you.
How much weight can you handle?
You Divisian Knights. Is that what it is? Divisian
Yes,
Knights?
I think it's Divisian. That sounds right.
Leviathan Knights?
I think Divisian is correct. How much weight?
I see we're making efficient use of our 20-use legendary weapon.
It'll be fine. We still haven't used any Durandal yet. Which is really funny to think about.
Well, that's because you have to save it for when Roy promotes.
That's true. I'm gonna pretend
I mean, so I will say this. I say that as a joke, but I was on another YouTuber, Tatsunami's finale of FE6, of like her first blind FE6 playthrough, and she loves FE7. So she literally gave Roy the Durandal because she's like, it's his father's blade.
Oh, that's.
And I was
cute.
like, okay, I can respect the dedication to flavor. But I also kept making fun of her because I was like, he has the binding blade! And she kept running into, like... She had, like, trained Deike as one of her best units, and Deike was, like, always just short of killing people, and I'm like, he would kill with the Durandal!
That is kind of cool, though. That's a neat little bit of flavor to do, I guess.
Yeah, I blame FE7 for making it Elliewood's PRF when it shouldn't have been. Like, Roy can't even fucking use the thing until he promotes. Elliewood should have gotten the Binding Blade as his PRF, I'm sorry. Elliewood got done so dirty. Like, everyone talks about, like, oh, Elliewood got done dirty by Engage. No, fuck that. Elliewood got done dirty by FE7. He should have had the fucking Binding Blade as his personal. Yes, I mean the 1-2 range one. Just fucking give it to him, it's one map.
Just let him roll with it. It would have been so much cooler that way.
It wouldn't have made him good, but then people would debate whether he or Lyn is worse.
True.
Because I think, like, it's pretty universally accepted that Smellywood is worse than Lyn. Although I say that and I'm gonna get a bunch of people talking about how he's a discount paladin now.
Although...
There's a word for that. There's a word for discount paladin. He promotes into a fucking cavalier. He promotes into a tier 1 class.
You can also
Elliewood is a trainee unit, confirmed.
Although, I don't really see it as whether Lyn or Elliewood's better. I just think it's a matter of Manakati's better than Rapier.
Okay, well, on the other hand, you can sell rapier.
Oh, that's true.
Which I guess makes it better. But no, I do think that Manikati's better than rapier, and that's why Lyn is better than Eliwood. Because both of them are kind of just, like, doing shit combat with their PRFs.
Yeah.
And so she does slightly better shit combat. Plus, like, if you're evaluating units including their Lyn mode performance, then she wins outright.
Oh, definitely.
Because, like, I mean, look, I did 0% growth's Lyn mode, and she basically soloed it. So...
Makes sense.
But I also know that, like... I know a lot of people assume no Lyn mode as the default, and I personally think you shouldn't. I think you should just specify, like...
Yeah, you should definitely specify.
Lyn mode, no Lyn mode. Because there are a few units that it makes a huge difference for. Like, the big ones that everyone points to are the Cavaliers. I would argue that Farina, whatever the fuck her name is, the first peg, it makes even more of a difference for.
Florina definitely
Just
benefits from it.
She's so underleveled when you get her. Unless you did Lyn mode, you get her, like, a bunch of experience, you give her the robe and the energy drop.
And then she's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, then she's actually, like, competent.
These wyverns are coming up and they're looking a little scary. This Killing Edge guy is also kind of scary. I kind of want him gone.
Boom! Killer Bow beats Killer Lance. Archers are better than Myrmidons confirmed.
Definitely.
Oh my god, I did a poll recently where I asked people, like, what class do you generally think is the worst? And the options were Archer, Myrmidon, Armor Knight, right? And I got a bunch of comments from people saying Myrmidon shouldn't be even on here. Myrmidons are great because Rutger exists. And it's like...
He's one Myrmidon.
Yeah, like, that's like saying Osmond exists, therefore all Armor Knights are good. It's funny, too, because, like, Myrmidon/Swordmaster was, like, the least voted on one in the poll, which I think is fine. Like, if you think that they're not the worst of those three bad classes, like, you're not wrong, because it's an opinion.
Yeah.
So you can't be wrong. Like, there's no, as much as people try to, there's no numeric way to rate Fire Emblem units and classes and stuff. Right? Like, yes, they have numbers, the numbers don't tell the full story.
No. There's always context behind it.
So, it's, like, it doesn't, like, I don't think it's wrong that they were the least voted on one, but it is funny because that caused Booper to say people are really letting Rutger do so much cover for how shit Swordmasters usually are, which I would agree because of how many comments I got talking about how Swordmasters aren't bad, Rutger is great.
Hey, 776.
Wait, what? Oh, 76 hit! Yeah, I was confused at first. I was like, what do you mean? Where's the 6? Because I was like 7 times 2, so I thought that's where the 7/7 was.
How do you do against these guys?
And then Milady can set up the kill.
You're fine.
Or can get the kill, not set up the kill. She gets it.
She's actually
he set up the kill for her.
Okay, Milady, get some good level ups. I kind of need you to carry a little bit. Okay, yeah.
That is a good level up. I mean, I don't think you can rely on a single unit to carry, because,
no. Because something might happen to them.
The wheel? You might get wheeled.
Okay, we're gonna do that. Vulnerary up a little bit. Put you here with that. That is out of ballista range.
Are you sure you trust him to fight 3 wyverns, though?
I trust him.
Even with the Lance Reaver? Yeah, I guess I forgot that your Roy is actually, like...
This Roy's actually trained up.
Yeah, I was gonna say good, but that's not correct.
Nah, trained is the
he's
right
just
word.
trained. Trained is the correct word. Yeah, trained is the right word.
He's competent enough to contribute. Oh, right.
Yep, you took too long. Reinforcement time. That was certainly a noise. That was certainly a noise. That was certainly a noise.
I didn't check enemy inventories.
Never punished. Never punished.
I didn't deserve that at all. Whoopsie-daisies. It's a good thing out of all the archers I picked to stay with the armor knights, I picked the one that has the Roy support.
Wait, what?
I should have left Klein back there with the armors to help out and had Wolt over here.
Oh, sorry. For some reason, I was like, Dorothy's dead. The fuck are you talking about? I tend to think of Klein, like, because you said archer, right? And, I know that you just meant that as shorthand for sniper, right? But, like, the fact that you said archer and Klein is never an archer, he's a sniper, which, like, no, he's an archer, too. Like, I'm sorry. It was my brain being pedantic. Like, I would not say it is inaccurate to refer to Klein as an archer, because he is. In the same way that Shin is, right? Like, he's a nomad, but he's an archer. Damn, Boris keeps getting crit!
He's eating crits for days. Gosh, I really wish I had a healing item. Oh, I do have a healing item over here.
Yeah, I mean, like, so arguably, maybe Boris can just fight all these guys on his own.
I think Boris just sits here. And you're going to scare away enemies because you're going to hold the Horse Slayer. And they'll go, oh god, don't let me fight the Horse Slayer.
Yeah, what is Wolt doing? Running back over to Roy?
Running far away.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be here. Why was he here again? Oh yeah, to help out with,
he was
like,
helping out with this.
Or whatever. Yeah.
I think we carry Gonzo over the water back over here. Or maybe...
You don't want to carry him to the mountain?
Oh, I could.
Like, drop him on the mountain? He can attack people from the peaks?
I wish he could...
Like, put him on the edge. He'll have weapon triangle over most of them. And, also plus 30 avoid from the peaks.
I wish I could drop him this turn. Assuming they all hit 23, that goes down to 22. He takes 12 3 times. He actually lives getting hit by all 3 of these Cavaliers.
I mean, is Tate doing anything if you fly her over there to fight the Wyverns? Her combat's not great, and she's at 10 HP. She can spend 2 turns to take drop him, right?
Yeah. She can't stay down here, though, because Cavaliers...
Why not? She can stay on the mountain.
Oh, that's right. She can stay over the mountain.
They can't reach her if she hides. Like, it means she's out of commission for the rest of the time, but, like, how much is she actually doing?
We can put him here and then run onto the mountain next turn, because he lives everything.
He faces 3 calves if you do that, though.
He lives all 3 of them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can do that then. He has an elixir?
Yep, he has an elixir, so even if he does get hit all the times, I can just run left and use an elixir.
Put an Iron Axe on him so he doesn't crit and open up the way. Oh wait, no, all 4 of them will attack him because of the Jav.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's a Troubadour, not a... Okay, so only 3.
Only 3 of them can
Yeah, so Killer Axe then, yeah.
Killer Axe just to kill the 1, potentially. We'll do it here. That way, if I run here next turn, they can't javelin for us. Okay, we'll fly.
Yeah, oh, that makes sense, yeah.
We'll just get Tate over the water. I did not put an item on you.
Check ballista range too, though.
Yes.
See, this is why I like going the ballista route, because then I don't have to check ballista range when I send the flyers up north. Because I do ultimately eventually send the flyers up north. Mostly because I think this is a good map to train the lady on.
It is. It's a very good map to train her on. Okay, we'll run away.
Like, there's a bunch of lance-using calves, so she can use the lance, or she can use the Horse Slayer to, like, kill the shit out of them.
Klein, I trusted you.
This is scary.
Don't worry, we have Shin.
True, one of the best units in the game.
I trust Shin more. Okay, I was really hoping he wouldn't make me look like an idiot. Shin would never do that. Okay, Ballista. So we're safe here. Although I'd like to heal our next turn, ideally.
Yeah. So, well, what you could do is have her throw a javelin from in front of Shin.
Oh, that's true.
And then Priscilla can heal.
I definitely would have killed
Or
this
Clarine.
turn.
Fuck, I always get Clarine and Priscilla mixed up.
I know who you mean.
Clarine is this one, right?
Clarine's this one. Dual crit.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, they join in the same map.
They're the same class.
They have the same class, join in the same map, and are, like, associated with each other as well, aren't they?
They're both
No,
Etrurian nobles.
she's Pent's son. Or daughter, I mean.
Yeah, she's Pent's
or
daughter.
maybe son, who knows.
Okay, we can just go for this.
Yeah. But she is a noble, though, right? Like, they're both nobles.
They're both Etrurian nobles.
Wait, is
Okay, so
Priscilla Etrurian? I thought she was from that fallen house.
Oh, that's right. She's from, I think it's Cronwell.
She's, like, from the house that Hector, like, killed the shit out of for some reason.
Yeah.
I never really figured out what was up with that. Like,
So from what I
because, like,
remember,
Raven wants to kill Hector because Hector did something bad.
It's not as much Hector did something, it's more that Ostia did something. It's because Raymond and Priscilla's parents were doing some illegal stuff or whatever that went against the Lycian League. And I don't quite remember why Raven is so hell-bent on his... Sorry, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. On his revenge quest, because I think he feels like they were treated unjustly, and he wants revenge for them dying. Even though you find out later that it wasn't even Ostia or anyone that killed his parents. I think it's in the Oswin Priscilla support, in the A support. You find out whenever their parents were backed into a wall and were forced to face their charges, they just took their own lives.
So all of that just reminded me that Priscilla is in the Burger King hack, but it's a 0 out of 10 hack because in her death quote she says Raven instead of Raymond.
True.
So very out of character. Fake fan. Fake fan gaming.
Raymond's such a cool
Also,
name.
I don't know why, but I expected Barth to double for some reason.
expected
Even though there's no way on earth he should have.
I expected the Cav to double him.
Yeah, that's the more reasonable thing. But I was like, oh, Barth's gonna kill on follow-up. I don't know why I thought that.
Must have thought he was
But I
Boris
did
for a
think it.
second.
I mean, Boars is weirdly fast, yes. Ours is slightly speed blessed, but also only slightly, which is the weird part.
This is actually getting kind of dicey because I think more Cavs are going to show up down here in a sec. Okay, I like this.
You don't want to go on the mountain?
There's not enough enemies left for me to real. Oh my gosh.
Well, but the bottom calves, he could, like, delay them.
Oh, that's true. That's a really good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Hey, Wolf can contribute.
I don't know, because I told you. Wasn't Walt trying to run away?
He was.
What is going on?
This map has a lot of moving parts, and it plays with my head.
You should have gone down the bottom. There's less moving parts there.
I like the moving parts, though.
And yet you can't manage them. Silverlands, let's go!
Maybe that's why I like it so much.
Also, aggressive Troubadour AI, my beloved, trapping
know.
Boars in.
Boars is trapped in here with them. Barth is kind of like in a bind. He takes 4 damage twice from
In
this
a binding
guy.
blade?
He is. I'll handle that in a sec.
I mean, I think you just send him backwards and have him vulnerary, right?
Yeah, we just run backwards and vulnerary.
The unit who you need to GTF out of there has 4 move and can't be rescued.
Yeah, and he has to take a vulnerary off of Walt, so Walt has to run left 1 turn, 1 tile, if he wants to heal this turn. On the bright side, the
To be
enemies
fair,
can't-
the only enemy that could attack him is a Jav.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
If you need to, you could rescue Walt with Tate, I guess? This is so scuffed.
It
like,
is.
Can
It's
I draw
so much
attention
fun,
to how
though.
fucking scuffed this is?
I've never used armors in this map before.
Yeah, maybe there's a reason for that.
Could be. Okay, I am like out of healing items over here outside of the elixir. I should have brought a second staffer. The idea was to not split the army, but well, I'm not spending physic on that. Make sure you can't reach. Also, make sure you can't reach, because you're kind of terrifying. Okay, this side is completely safe for the rest of the map, basically. There's no reinforcements over here whatsoever.
Because there's no reinforcements.
All the reinforcements
might come across the bridge.
So I think we just move Roy forwards a little bit. We definitely move Merlinus forward, because I need to go shopping. And sell a bunch of stuff.
And then Roy and someone else, like Roy can set up that kill from Lady.
Yeah. Look at that. As long as it doesn't crit. Perfect.
There we go. Good boy.
Good Jagan.
He's just a good little egg.
He's doing his best.
Alright, milady. What's your... Oh, I thought she was gonna level up.
Me
I was gonna ask what's she gonna get.
Oh, I need to make sure I grab those Elysian whips out of
I
here.
mean...
I think we said
doesn't Tate have them on her?
I think I took them off of her. Okay, yeah, I did. I put them back in the combo because I knew I was bringing Merlin.
You made sure to give her a hand axe so that she can 1-2 range people. Gotcha.
Yes. That is... Oh, I think it's because... I have no idea how that
It's gotta be from Gonzo, right? Did she give Gonzo the elixir or something?
Oh. So, I traded the Horse Slayer...
Oh, the Horse Slayer to Boars?
I traded the Horse Slayer around, and the hand axe got mixed in with it somehow.
No, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, that happens to my inventories, because I give everyone full inventories at the start of every map, because I don't know how to not do that.
I mean, I've definitely had a scrambled inventories moment, but often that results in just starting the map with weird inventories, either because I'm too lazy to fix it, or in some cases, like, in more difficult runs, sometimes I'll give people weapons for other people that they need to hand over.
I've done that too.
Like, I found myself doing that a lot in late game 0% Growth Vision Quest, where I was like, okay, this person needs to use this on turn 1, but then this is going to be their day-to-day for the rest, and they can't afford to fit this, and this, and this that they all need. So, like, you are kind of just here for, like, Rustlin is is an early game flyer with reposition, so I was like, you're here for reposition. You can take their weapon and trade it to them.
I'll do that with Roy a lot in this game for units like Milady, Jarrett, or anyone like that. He'll just carry their starting inventory for them. Okay, stay out of that. So we can go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Vulnerary. Look out, he got an Axe Reaver. Boar's unironically.
That's why you had to trade the hand axe to Tate so that he would attack Tate instead. Because he would see it in her inventory.
This was on purpose. I'm trying to bait out this last few ballista uses. I wonder what that paladin's gonna do. Is he gonna run, or is he just gonna stand there and wait for his opportunity to hit boars?
I believe that I worked. He will move around because he sees someone he can attack. I'm not no, actually.
Nope. I think
he doesn't. Yeah,
he still sees that this is the shortest route to attack someone.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.